isolation. 2 parts self-promotion. 3 parts isolation. 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 1 part information. 2 parts self-promotion. 3 parts isolation. We're at the mercy of the state of the art.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
You know, I'm super happy. I gambled on this thing, I spent money that I really didn't have, and I knew I was taking a gamble, but you gotta take a gamble in life, man. You fucking have to. You don't, nothing happens.
It does.
I promise. Like, nothing is gonna happen if you don't do some new shit, try something new.
That's true. I think it's cool that you decided to do the show. I think it's cool that you went for it and it worked out.
We don't know if it worked out yet.
It's almost like a relationship. You can't control that the girl's gonna love you or the dude's gonna love you. So you can't guarantee what they're gonna give back to you, but you are responsible for your half.
All right, so let me tell you what my half is. So
okay, what's your half?
If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I had to get ready, okay? First, I had to raise the fucking money. So I sold paintings. Some people donated shit. I was like, yay. It's just kind of a dream of mine to be a part of the expo. I went a few years ago, and I was just, like, floored by how exciting and the massive space and the amount of talent and color and, like, just pristine presentations. I was like, man, it is my dream to do this, and I didn't think for a second that he was going to be like, sure, but he did. The guy, he contacted me the next morning, he freaking called me, and I was like, oh my God, I was just I felt so honored, but holy crap, the amount of, they sent me an 80-page freaking manual on how the details, friggin' everything. Oh my God, you don't even know. So, okay, boom, here I go. I have no art. I just sold a bunch of my new, shattered shit series. I had none of that left. I had to create cohesive, display. And then, this is just the creative shit, okay? That was frustrating because at a certain point I was fucking imposter syndrome. Do I know how to paint? Is this any good? I had to deal with that. I had to work through that. I had to fucking push because it's every time, I don't know, I want to feel like I'm getting better, but sometimes I feel like I'm getting shittier. And I have to go through that moment of regressing out of fear and not pushing and feeling like I needed to play it safe. So I ended up doing, 9 paintings that almost looked identical. And then I had to diversify. I had to paint to not be so cohesive. I took it a little too literally. That was a pain in the ass. All the paperwork, tons of paperwork. I also had to get my website shit together, business cards together. Fucking major fail on that. I tried to make it all sexy and sleek, black on black, but you fucking ordering from the internet, you don't know what the fuck you're gonna get. And I got a business card that has you can't even see my contact information. It's totally useless, and I'm still gonna use it. I'm just gonna call it art. Creating art fast. Luckily, I have practice because of these deadlines, for commercials or records, and just because of my own threshold for staying interested in a project. Yeah. But it's not always fun, and you're super under pressure, and you're stressed out. It's stressful, and the last thing I ever wanted this thing to be it's stressful. Like the reason I started painting was to stop being stressed out. And it's like I'm learning a lot from this process. And if this expo does something and it exposes me, and honestly, I don't want an agent. I don't want representation. I've been fucking, this is why I'll probably never get married. I've been married since I was 19 to a fucking corporation. You know, I am enjoying my autonomy, and I want to remain this way. If I had to go full on with art, that means music would be over, you know, because this shit takes up your whole life. You might as well have a child.
Yeah, it's the same kind of responsibility, same kind of time management, same kind of money and energy. But like of any relationships, if you did get like an agent and all that kind of stuff, you got to make sure that stuff is a good fit.
Another element to this whole process is learning how to ask for help. So my dad had cut out the wood frames, you know, in Long Island. He's like a master carpenter, so he did an excellent job doing that. However, he cut part of his thumb off doing it. So his blood is literally in the frames. So then we got my half-brother Tommy to drive us back to the city with these things in his convertible, so they were long, you know, so we could cut them up to size. So got him here. Then, you know, when you don't have much money to pay people, you're going to have to pay in other ways. So I was able to pay my friend Chris a very little amount of money and also offer him a painting for a job that's worth a lot more than what I gave him. He's doing a great job. It looks fucking beautiful, but I also have to like rely on him to show up the day that we do the setup, because they have their rules, their specifications. It has to look immaculate. The ratio to the art, to the wall art ratio has to be precise. You know, they only allow a certain amount, which is a bummer. Bring extra, but you cannot have anything like at your display. You can't have a laptop.
Yep.
Fucking, you know, you can't put your bag. You gotta hide shit. Make your own closet, you know? It's like, you know. So like, this is like the real shit. This is my first kind of experience with, I would say, a professional, like, what do you call this thing?
It's
an art show?
Yeah.
A professional art show. I mean, I've had gallery shows, but you know, you hang things out with nails. You don't give a shit. Like, you don't need fucking wires. You don't need shit to be framed. You know, flames make a big difference. Though I'm feeling frames. I was not at first, and now I am.
For like presentations and things, I learned just to kind of go with a simple black frame, because a lot of times people will switch them up anyway. They'll go ahead and change their frame because they might have other frames that match the stuff in their house and all this other kind of stuff. So you'll spend all this money on these elaborate frames, and they'll be like, take the frame off and just take the artwork out and be like, good to go. I'm like, but I put so much time into finding that right. No, they'll find the right frame for them in their home. And if they don't care about it, the simple black frame will be perfect for any space, anywhere.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I agree.
So you went to the expo before, so you saw an advertisement for it and you decided, I'm just going to go for it?
Yeah. Well, I followed them on Instagram.
Okay.
So I saw that they were taking applications for their fall show, and I was like, and it was the middle of the night. It was one of those just can't sleep, fucking watching TV, feeling like a loser. Like, just do it. I swear to God, that just really changed the course of my entire existence, because literally I had nothing to do. I was doing nothing. I was doing absolutely fucking nothing for about a year, wondering, what am I about to do? What am I gonna do? I'm kind of just losing the plot, you know? So I just said, fuck it. And it really did change, but I just got my shit together. I crammed and got my shit together, and now it's together. It'll be together for the rest of the year, you know?
So cool.
Maybe every year you just got to get your shit together for like 2 months straight, and then you're good for the year. Hopefully I'll sell some of these things.
So when you decided to say yes to this show, did you have some artwork that you did before in mind, or was it like, I'm going to create a whole brand new body of work for this show in particular, or what was your process for that?
I was going to go with the you know, broken glass theme, but try to kind of let it evolve a bit. So yes, I feel like this is where I'm going to sit for a while, because it's evolving, and I know where I want it to go, and I don't see it yet. And I think you got to have a thing as an artist. Like I was just going from one thing to another. Like I just wanted to see what I could do, you know, and I was just jumping from like just all different types of styles. And it's very important for an artist to brand themselves. I'm sorry to use that freaking word, that ubiquitous modern word. You know, freaking kids are worried about branding themselves at like fucking 7, you know. However, but a kid is not a commodity. Art is, and you got to have like a style. And it was important for me to develop that style. I found something I liked that not only like I liked visually, it challenges my perspective. I like to challenge other people's perspectives. I think I could get deeper. I like the layer process. It represents the many fucking layers of life that we cannot see. You know, the many layers to the human experience, to the brain, like there's just layers, you know?
Right.
And there's millions of dimensions and millions of ways to like see something or look at it. And we're unfortunately, we really only have one when we're sober, you know?
You are so funny.
It's the truth.
So what's inspiring that exploration that you're looking for? Because I love how you put that, because that's true. I always look for my eyes to see things differently when I'm about to do some new work. I just kind of wait for it. And you just see like that red isn't red anymore, or that fire hydrant isn't a fire hydrant anymore. It's something else. And you just get that artist eye. When it comes to you, it's a beautiful
it's a
thing.
Buzz. It's a buzz. Yeah, it's really spiritual in a way.
Yes,
like,
it
you
is.
Really feel fucking connection. Like
Open.
You're not. It's not you. It's you.
Yes.
You're channeling.
Yes.
I mean, I live for that feeling. You can't compare it to anything else in life. That is my favorite fucking drug. That moment of fucking creation, realization.
Okay, so you're a brilliant musician. So your inspiration or process for that, is that different for your art, or is it kind of like the same thing? Or is it a whole totally different way of doing?
Honestly, it's the fucking same. I don't give a shit. It's like tracking.
Cool.
It's literally like tracking. I like to layer vocals. I like to, multi-track strings, violins. That's what I'm doing. I'm applying layers, waiting for it to dry, take a break, take a piss, put the fan on it, and just go back and track. Just keep on going. And then you go back and you clean the lines, and you clean shit up, and you make shit sharp. That's sort of like editing. Like you're editing, you're taking out your, snorts, hiccups, burps, whatever, fixing pitch. It's the same freaking process. And I really do believe that if you're good at any type of art, you could kind of just like shift into another medium and just apply everything you know as an artist and as like a discipline, just apply your discipline just to a new medium, all the violin practice, the fucking repetition of these lines that you would have to, do when you're preparing for a competition or an audition. You would just do them over and over and over. And like, I applied that to recording and songwriting. Just do it more. All you could really do. I want to get to I want to talk to you about this.
Okay.
I'm having trouble, like self-editing with art. Like I know when I'm doing too much, and a lot of these paintings are me saving a painting. None of it is a painting. It's me saving a fucking failure and like being very frustrated. How do you fucking just stop yourself when it's fine?
I think it's a personal thing, and I think that's almost a thing that you got to kind of come to terms with. Because I do this, I do the same thing. Yeah. Do you know that as long as I've been doing art, I never going in to anything like I got this. Like if somebody says like want to commission me for some artwork, I'm like, oh crap, they're gonna appreciate my style. Is it what style that they want? Is it, am I gonna be able to complete it? All this stuff. And even though I have actual evidence of work that I've done and completed that I'm proud of, I never take it for granted that I got this. And I kind of work, at least in the beginning, with fear, but then I always know even if I'm lost in the journey, that I know I'm going to be okay at the end. Like, I'm not going to let it go until that thing is right. I'm not going to let it go until I'm there.
Yo,
that's it.
That's another thing. You learn every time I fucking started painting and I'm in the middle and I'm having like this tug of war. I tell myself the same, like, trust.
Yes.
Have faith. You've managed to pull it off. You've never thrown it. Maybe one fucking time I threw out a canvas or I kicked a hole in it or something. That is the very last time I will. You can always save a fucking painting. You need time. You need to take a walk, man. Leave your apartment. Take a walk around the block. Distract yourself. Right. It's the frustration. It's amazing how frustration can, like, manifest in real time. Like, you could witness how shitty, like, negativity is. Like, a negative attitude can ruin shit fast, you know? Yeah. And just like with people and stuff, you can't put too much on it, because every piece that you do is not meant to change the world. Sometimes it's just to get your mind loose. It's a breathing exercise. Yes. Entertain yourself.
Yes.
That's why I drew a donkey. Like, the last painting I drew, I finished the painting for the expo. I'm like, I'm drawing a donkey.
I love it.
Fuck it.
I love it. I love it.
That ass. It's like, I am the ass. Like, the artist is always the ass. Always. Right. The artist is the ass.
That's funny.
That's funny. The truth, man. Get out there and embarrass yourself. Like, that is your job in life. You fucking push yourself. Get uncomfortable, motherfuckers. Make other people uncomfortable. Yeah, it's okay. It can be a lot. Some people like to play it real fucking safe. I get it. It's a scary world. Life is scary. I do not play it safe at all.
Well, I love in your work that I've seen. It's really a trip that I'm amazed with as much work as you're doing at the speed that you're doing it, and then the tech is so technical. I like how it's still free. It feels free, but yet it's technical. But I think it's the way you said, as far as your process, as far as kind of having at it and then just kind of editing as you go along. So you get the best of both worlds. You get the freedom of the idea and the stroke, but then you tighten it up, make it look sharp. That gives it that technical feel.
That's the violinist in me.
I love it. I love it.
That's the violinist. And also that's just how I do art. Like, you got to have a certain, seriously, a discipline, you know? It can't be that easy. Like, that's why it gets on my nerves that some painters get away with very easy. I don't want it to be easy. I want to be challenged. You know, I want to challenge myself.
I thought it was interesting. I saw one of your videos. Is it Samo?
Samo, yeah.
And you were working on it, and I thought it was interesting that you didn't show the painting at the end. But I did notice
because it was shit, dude. I was focused on my performance, not the painting. It's two different freaking.
Well, I'm an artist, so I appreciate the song, but I also appreciate the art I saw you working on. And it's very interesting because it looked like it was a portrait of him, and I thought it was interesting too.
Thank you. You knew.
I have to dig it up and I'll show you. I did a similar painting of him years ago after I saw his documentary, and
what a fantastic character.
I went to go see one of his exhibits in LA. It was brilliant, and I just wish that I was aware of him when he was alive. Like, I was so oblivious to the artwork. I just did art, but I didn't grow up going to galleries, and so it wasn't like, hey, you could do this, you should do. I just did it because I enjoyed it. So I just wish that I knew that who he was and what he meant to everybody, because I think I was in high school or middle school when he was around, and I wish I would have known about him. So just to see his work, later on, it was just like, this is brilliant, and I can understand how he could be so misunderstood with what he was doing, because sometimes you just can't see the brilliance, and you just got to be there. You got to be in the right mindset to be able to take stuff in and to accept things. And I thought it was cool too, because I also paint with the canvas like laying on the floor. I can't do sitting up. I can't do sitting up.
No one knows that. Like, I can't either. I do not paint vertically. I like gravity. I like the physicality of just like kind of squatting and stretching. There's so much yoga and like Pilates involved with paint. You're like, straddled over the canvas, like stretching when
you can walk around it.
Oh my God, yes, it's very, very physical. But yeah, I can't. For the life of me, I cannot paint vertically.
That's all right. I'm the same way.
It's like drawing to me. You don't draw vertically. You freaking draw with the thing on the freaking table. You know what I mean?
Easels are for display.
Yeah,
when you're finished.
That's what I'm saying. I would be an awful live painter. You know how? Did you ever do live painting?
No, because I would do it laying down.
Right.
No
one would be able to see.
No.
And they would also have to sit there and wait for the layers to dry.
Right.
It would be it would not be live. There's no action happening there. Sorry guys, never gonna happen.
Well, I thought it was really cool. Like the video was cool, but I also thought it was cool that you were in your element doing your art thing, and I thought that was very cool. That was nice.
You know what was
mixture
the fucking
of the
hardest
two.
thing about that video, man?
What's that?
Oh God, my brother died, and like it was all scheduled. Everything was fucking scheduled already. It couldn't really be undid. He had rented the space out. He wouldn't have gotten his deposit. You know, the director, she was like, look, it's your call. And I almost canceled because I was destroyed. You know, I was fucking, my heart was shattered. And that's pretty much, that's when the broken glass painting started, because after my brother died, my world just shattered, different, never again to be the same. Anyway, a voice in my head. It wasn't a voice. It was the voice of my brother, Alfie. He said, Imani, if anyone can do this, it's fucking you. You got this. And I was like, fuck. Okay. You know, because there's so much guilt involved with like doing anything for yourself after you lose a family member. Like, why you? Like, how dare you? It was very difficult. I was sad. I had to perform. Yeah, that was a hard day. That was a very hard day.
Wow.
I just started cleaning some lines on my painting. You inspired me to just get to work.
Hey, a question. What is your medium of choice? Just curious. Acrylics? Do you like watercolor? Do you like oil painting?
I like acrylics. I have no patience for oil paints. I think they're beautiful, but I don't. I'm an Aries. Shit needs to happen faster.
We can't wait. We can't wait. I got.
Hell no. The timing is everything for us, man.
Yeah, I'm about that acrylic. Yeah, I can't wait that long.
It's like, this is how I feel now. It needs to come out now. It's gonna feel different in fucking 3 days, you know. But maybe I need that. I don't want to practice. That's not who I am. Sorry.
If I had oil paints and I could just change it, it would never be done. So I'm glad acrylic sticks is dry. Hey, I'm gonna change one thing. It'd be like, too late. It's already dry.
Yep.
Like, okay. I guess that's what it is. Yeah. That's cool. I figured you were gonna say acrylics, but I think that's cool. That fits. But then
you work with oil. Do you work with oil?
No, I don't have the patience. I need to be done. Yeah.
Okay. We have the same disease.
Yeah. I need to be done. So the pieces that you're gonna have, what size are you working in?
Well, you know, I got some really great advice from the dude who invites people to display. He said people are buying squares these days. Okay. So I'm like, great, I'm working with squares. Squares sell better than rectangles. And he kind of like equated it to the standard of Instagram. People are they've become accustomed to seeing visual things in squares. So that kind of makes sense. And it's a little sad, but whatever, it is what it is.
Right.
So basically 24 by 24 or 30 by 30.
That's a good size. That's really nice. That's impressive.
You know, I wanted to go all big with my art because I have this, you know, new amateur artists feel like big is like, that makes you a real artist. How big can you paint? And I got over it. I totally got over it. It's a different discipline, painting smaller, you know? I mean, it's more, I feel like, I don't know, it's more fun to paint big for me. I just don't really have the space.
Yeah.
And you have to understand, like, part of the process when you're painting in your home apartment and trying to preserve the floors. God, if I had my own friggin' studio, holy shit, when I was in France, dude, well, we walked through the woods and we went into this famous artist studio. He created like cubism with Picasso. This place was so freaking inspiring. I can't even tell you. There was, oh my God, it was just so inspiring. This fucking glass ceilings with all this light, this big open space, wood floors. You could feel the artistic energy. You could feel the frustration. You could feel the hours dedicated to painting and innovating in that room.
You did a video in there, right?
Yeah,
yeah, that was so.
You saw it.
That was so beautiful. I felt the vibe. I thought you was gonna pull out a canvas and start working right there.
The energy was just fucking incredible.
So the pieces that you selected for the show, do you already know what you're gonna have in there already, or are you still kind of working it out?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Because I know I'm gonna change my mind 14 times. I'm just gonna wait till like the night before, even though they recommend you figure it out. But you know, I've been experimenting in my head. I've got a good idea. They say 6 paintings, all the same size, 3 above, 3 below. That could work. I'm just trying to get the most amount to display. However, you know, I'm trying to make a decision of like, do you want it to look like symmetrical, or do you want to put your best work out? You know, like I'm making that decision. It's a weird call. Go with your
artist gut, your artist instinct. I think that, you know, you do as much.
I was hoping you would tell me.
It's almost kind of like with the process with your artwork, with just kind of doing what you feel and then just tightening it up at the end. It's the same way. You got to go with your gut the same way. You go within the parameters, but you still do you, because that's what's going to make it special. You know, you know what's up.
Yeah.
So.
No, thank you. I needed to hear that. You know, I'm learning. I'm a fucking student, and like I really value everyone's advice that they give me. It's scary, you know. So like you start to doubt, but lately I've been like, nah, bitch, you're awesome. Yeah. I'm like, you awesome. You suck. And the more you tell yourself you suck, the more you're gonna suck. So just awesome. Fuck it.
That's why I was gonna be so careful about what we think and what we say out loud. And the thing about it is, truthfully, the world is set up for you not to think anything of yourself, so it could take advantage of you. And so
yes, but the universe is set up for you to succeed.
Yes,
the universe wants you to win. The world wants you to fucking die.
But you gotta know that you need to win for it to happen, though. But everything else is trying to keep the wool over your eyes. But you have to know.
Full moon is in Aries, yo. We are winning this week.
Win.
I am.
Yeah.
So let me think. Do I have anything else to add about this art thing coming up? Well, I just want to add that you know, I felt like I had a mountain to move. I knew my hair was gonna start falling out from stress. I knew there was gonna be a fever pitch where I was losing my shit, and there was. Stopped eating. You know, I was just up all hours of the night. I didn't step outside. You know, I was losing my vitamin D and just kind of letting my shit unravel. That happened. Went crazy. But yo, you just chip away a little bit every day, and it kept me busy. It got me focused. It got me looking forward to my next like major creative effort, which is going to be an album, because after you do this shit, like I might as well just made an album. Like it's the same amount of energy, probably like less work. Making an album is going to be fucking easy after this shit, you know. So I'm looking forward to that, and I mapped the shit out. I proposed for a $20,000 grant for like females who like write music and shit.
Right on.
I sold myself, but it wasn't like a fake sell. It was like I truly mean everything I said about what the importance of this album for women who have experienced, who suffer from mental illness, who have experienced sexual abuse, harassment. You know, a lot of my album is just that, and I'm telling it like it actually is, and trying to normalize not necessarily in a hashtag Me Too way.
I think that you always had empowering music in general, not only for women, just in general. I think it's always been open and honest, talking about different subjects. You've always been like that, and I think that's cool. And it's always been brave. And everybody is not gonna do that. And it's funny because it's almost a medicine with sugar, because you found a way to do it where it's kind of like you can't help but like it. So it's almost kind of like, how can it be that damn good and good for me? But you always kind of had a nice balance of, just like your artwork, you have a nice balance of you doing you, saying what you want to do, breathing like you want to breathe, and expressing the way you want to express, yet and still it fits in a, you know, an aesthetic that's pleasing. And I think that's everybody doesn't have that.
I care about the packaging, I care about the presentation, and I care about people. And I also I know what people respond to, and I know what they don't. They don't like being preached at. They don't like being yelled at. And
then I am a sucker for violins too. So I look out for that part. I'm like, where's the violins? Your voice with violins is like my love for DJ Quick with his scratching. It goes together.
I love it. Part of me. It's like a love-hate shit. That violin, I'm telling you, if I'm ever lost in life or feel for whatever reason very insecure, or some stupid boy just broke my heart, I gotta stop letting stupid boys break my heart.
Make sure you have that violin in there. That's all I'm saying. Just
dude,
I ain't telling you what to do, but I'm just saying.
It's going to be very orchestrated. I'm just showcasing just the stripped down, simple, just me. It's not going to be overly produced. It's going to be basically me, a piano, and a violin, and singing like my fucking truth. I'm happy to say I'm looking forward to it.
Why do you feel it's your responsibility to give that kind of truth in your music? Why is that important?
It encourages people to tell their own truth. It helps people tap into their own feelings. I help people feel the shit that they are scared to feel, you know? Feel like, Jesus, better have some fucking purpose on this planet.
Please follow her on Instagram so we can see some of her art, some of her process. Take a look, click, and check it out. It was great having you. Great catching up as always.
Yeah, you did a wonderful job.
We always have great conversations. Now I'm looking forward to our next one.
All right. I love you.
Love you too. Until next time, peace.
Peace, man. Thanks.
Hey, this is Jay, and I hope you're enjoying the conversation so far. I just want to let you know that this conversation is part of a larger conversation that continues on the next episode. Thanks for listening.